have printing stuff anymore.
Well, yeah. And then they have this like genuine cartridge program thing where if you put in a cartridge, it's a refill, it jacks up your printer. It's pretty funny.
It doesn't fit the way it's supposed to. The carrier just gets smacked around.
Well, I heard, this was probably 2 years ago now, that Mark Hurd did a roundtable that I attended, and he just flat out admitted, listen, we drive all of our business towards, ink and replacing ink. And even the hardware business, minimal margins on it, whether it was printer hardware or desktop server, but ink was it.
So I don't know if you guys know this about Kodak printers, and I don't know if HP has done this also, but Kodak has some of their printers, it has a tick down, so every time you turn the printer on, it cleans the ink head, and so it doesn't matter how many times you print, it actually has a tick down, and you can have half the ink full, and a little electronic counter says your ink is out, and basically I have to buy new ink. And if you have a scanner, like we have one that's sitting in the closet now, and we got a new printer, but has a scanner on it, and if the ink runs out, even though it may not be out, like the electronic counter says it's out, you can't even use your scanner anymore.
It definitely does that because I just went to print something that I just put a cartridge in. It was a brand new cartridge 7 months ago or whatever, but I don't print. And empty.
Yeah, because they say, and they'll say it's because it cleans the ink head cartridge every time, and it loses a little bit of ink. And so it just electronically counts you down to doom.
So it's kind of like an intentional drip in a gas-powered engine.
Yep.
So the
Is
solution.
this conspiracy theory?
It is conspiracy talk. So the way to solve this problem is don't print and use your awesome 8-megapixel camera to scan stuff. Right? What else is new? Anybody?
What about the stuff I posted about the consolidation of Android? That they're actually starting to get on one the ice cream sandwich is going to be ubiquitous to hardware platforms.
So ubiquitous as in Windows Phone 7 ubiquitous? Because they just pushed that update out. How many of you guys have Windows Phone 7? There was an update that applies to all phones, which is pretty cool. So everybody that can't have it has it. And it was involuntary from what I understand. It's pretty cool. That's the way Android has to do it, I think. If you're going to do ice cream sandwich, I think you just have to push it.
And did you also see that Samsung is outselling Apple alone? That doesn't include Motorola and everybody else.
Yeah, that's a huge deal. Huge deal. But Apple still controls more than half the profit in the industry, which is kind of what really Apple cares about.
How many people really, this is the classic setup from the early 90s.
No, it's not.
It's
not
similar.
close.
It's similar. We got control of one hardware platform and mindset versus open. Why is it different? Yeah, tell me why it's different, because I saw this happen with Linux versus Windows too. Kind of more open.
So Linux versus Windows?
When Linux was first released, back when Linux was coming out in 98, 99, I was in open source. I was working for BSD. I saw some of the changes, the more openness.
Okay, so Linux versus BSD maybe, right?
No, BSD was open, BSD died for a different one, but I saw a lot more adoption. What?
BSD isn't that.
It's owned by Wind River.
No, it's not.
BSD, the BSD OS kernel is owned by Wind River. I'll promise you that. The core kernel is owned by Wind River.
It's also, yeah, all right. So
And
let's
there's
talk
open
about
and
that,
and
right?
free.
So the question is why is iOS
Why is
versus Android different than Windows versus Mac?
Yeah, way back when. How's this battle going to be different?
So my question is why is Windows open and Mac closed? What's the primary difference to you between the two?
I honestly believe that's going to be because of profit.
So you guys, what's the difference between Windows and Mac to you? What does it mean to you?
But make sure we go through Android versus.
I know, but we started with the Mac versus Windows because you went back to the 80s. Let's go back to the 80s.
It's a simplified platform. It's closed because they are removing features to make it an easier process, and that what they're trying to do is take every
part of the operating system and make it portable for any device, which is why it's that shared experience.
So that's the Apple experience.
Yeah, that's Apple, and you know, Windows experience is not that. You know,
So the Apple experience is
Is the
you have
philosophy.
you have Mac OS 10, right? It powers all of Apple's devices. It's the same operating system at core level.
and a similar hardware. Where in the PC world, you can't upgrade and make changes and do whatever you want, right?
So Zoom, when they came out with the Zoom was a different hardware architecture than everything else out there. Windows Phone, same thing, right? Windows Phone 7 is a different operating system from Windows 7. Like there's so many different things that you have to do as a developer to get your app to run across all these platforms. It's not going to work as easily as it is. Look, I'm going to write an Mac OS 10 app, and I'm going to use, if I'm getting too deep. Anyway, you're using Cocoa Touch on the iOS devices versus Cocoa on desktop. It's the same application underneath. So think of that from a developer perspective. Like, what would you rather do? Code your app 6 times across 6 different platforms, or once and just use a different interface in each one? And that's the difference.
But now compared to Android, with Android and Ice Cream Sandwich, because Ice Cream Sandwich is going to be the same OS for the phones as well as the.
Yeah, but the phones are all different still.
Exactly.
No, but in that release I put up there on your site, they said Ice Cream Sandwich is going to now cover any new hardware being released and everything.
But the hardware is still going to be
The
different.
hardware is still completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the
you
hardware
still-
is, but the
But you
underlying
still-
OS
so that means
is
you-
ubiquitous.
So now you've got maybe you've got an iPad and a few different iPhones maybe to make some little changes for it when you're developing an app. But on the Android side, you've got 40 different things you have to create, all different little.
And what they were saying, what I read in that
But it doesn't matter with the software because the hardware is different.
No, but since the software is going to be quick adoption, that's what
It
I
still
read
doesn't
the
matter.
article. That's what they said the article, because they're trying to.
Even if the software is exactly the same, the hardware you're interfacing with just different hardware.
And that's the exact same setup that happened back in the
Which is
90s.
why it's soft.
No, but that's the exact same battle that was set up back in the 90s.
So here's the question. Let's bring this back to like out of the geek speak. You write apps, right? You write Android apps?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you don't because of that problem, right?
Yeah, we have to target specific things or simplify a lot to get apps working across as many devices as possible.
So your development philosophy when you're working for Android is lowest common denominator. What are the guaranteed things across all the platforms that I can write to? And that's your philosophy going in, right? You may take advantage of some Samsung features because their hardware has some features that you can rely on. But that, when you write your app, doesn't work as well on HTC devices because they don't have
Or at
some
all.
features.
Right.
Or at all, right? So the advantage of the Apple platform is you have a guaranteed set of specs for all of the devices you're writing to. It makes it much easier.
Well, it's hardware and software because the experience you're coding for the same swipe effects and menu list options and all that stuff. For an Android, it could be different.
It's completely different
Yeah.
sizes, completely different screen resolutions.
So the time consumption is a lot lower, and you can do app a lot faster.
But you end up spending more time. Yeah, maybe. But you end up spending more time just making all the cool features. But Android, you do end up spending way more time.
So I have a question
Changing stuff.
for everybody. How many of you have iPhone 4Ss now? So there are 2, 3, I have one too. Are you using Siri at all in any serious way?
Yeah. Average height of a giraffe. I don't know if that's too serious. I don't know. Directions, that kind of stuff. More just like goofy kind of questions.